So I'm not exactly new to the party, but just finally getting an opportunity to look at this GRXC1 from GORUCK. It's a collaboration with Carryology. They're made out of that straight from the future or an alien planet dyneema. Fantastic fabric, lots of great features in this bag. And we're going to take a look at what makes a difference between this and a GR1 standard issue. I've been carrying the GR1 size, or the 21 liter size, for the last week in an everyday carry mode. And I've traveled a couple times with the 26 liter and a weekender mode. Let's see how these bags stack up with the standard line of GR1s and see if it's the right bag for you. It's the GR1 XC Gorilla X. Boom, here we are. This is the Dyneema GORUCK Carryology collaboration. This is the Dyneema made GR1s, GRXC1. And I've had them for a couple weeks now, so it's time to do a review. And so we're taking a look at the 21 liter and the 26 liter Dyneema made GRXC1s, made by GORUCK, collaboration with Carryology. So you're gonna see a lot of cool things about Carryology features in these bags that you don't see on anywhere else. And so the number one thing is the material. So let's dive into the material. We'll talk about the bags themselves. I'm not going to do all the features sort of look at these bags, because you can look at one of my other videos on the GR1 that tells you how to pack these bags out for day-to-day and weekender mode. So really what this is going to be about is how these bags compare to the GR1 series of bags and anything else that might be out there that's made of a similar material. So this is it. This is the look at the GRXC1 made by GORUCK and collaboration with Carryology. So the GORUCK produced collaboration with Carryology. This is number one of hopefully many collaborations with Carryology, and so we'll see what happens. I'm actually recording this on the day where the second one gets announced, so that's just a side fact. But this is the 21 liter. I've been carrying this one for a few weeks now to work back and forth as my everyday carry bag. So let's see what it looks like and a couple of key features of the bag and see how it differs with the GR1. Before I get too far down into the weeds, I'm now on Facebook. So you can follow JB Outside on Facebook, and let's carry the conversation there. Let's move on and talk about things GORUCK related, backpack related, carry related. That's where you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So my number one feature that I loved about the Heritage is the stash pocket, the secret pocket up here at the very top of the bag. That is really the first time they ever produced this was in the GR1 Heritage 26 liter. So I was definitely on board with that. This bag now was the first one to put it in the 21 liter size. Now the Heritages are being produced both in 21, 26 liter with that stash pocket. So you can get really any of these special edition bags with that stash pocket. And that is the best place to put sunglasses or really anything that you're going to carry around in your pocket. You can put in here and not have it rattle around or throw itself out of your pocket. Cell phone could go in here, but really I'll use it for sunglasses primarily, maybe my AirPods and car keys. What most people really rave about, and it is awesome, is this Dan Matsuda design patch, also produced in titanium, which is very sharp. What do I mean by sharp? Well, it looks awesome, and it's really hard to get a good angle in this except in the daylight, and so you can see all the different colors that are in it. But when I also say it's sharp, when you're trying to access stuff, like I usually put my iPad here, when I'm pulling my iPad out of here, sometimes I will catch an edge of this patch, so it's sharp. But would I use this day to day? Probably not going to keep this patch on there. First of all, it's too valuable and it looks too awesome to just have on there and maybe bang up or maybe have someone try to steal it off there. So I'll probably put something else on the GRXC1 when it transitions to full-time day-to-day carry. So there's the top two things, the stash pocket, the Dan Matsuda patch, and then the third thing really that I love is all of the orange accents that you'll find in any of the pockets throughout. So the outside is this dyneema material, but inside the bag is full-on Cordura in an orange color. So that's great. What some people talk about with this dyneema fabric though is that it's very crinkly, and if you've ever had another bag made out of dyneema, you might think that's the case, but I would offer to bet that that material is way thinner than what they used this bag. And this is fully packed out. So what you're hearing here is the bag. And it feels just like a stiffer material. It doesn't, I would never quantify as, I would never qualify it as crinkly, but it is a thicker, more rigid material that you could definitely feel the difference between a Cordura 1000D or even the 500D that they make other rucks into. So it is a different size material. Initially, I didn't really know how I would like it, but after a couple weeks of carrying it, it's honestly my favorite material. I don't know if it's just because I've carried the other GORUCK bags for so long in 1000D that I'm just used to that coefficient of friction between the bag and whatever I'm wearing or wherever I'm putting it. But this slippery feel of the dyneema fabric, both on the back and the shoulder straps, just feels amazing to me, and I really like it. I'm a big fan of this material, and it's climbed into the top 3 bags of all time for me, next to my Heritage ruck and the Radio ruck, to be honest. Top 3. Some negatives. Let's talk about a couple of negatives. First, I mentioned the sharp patch, but you can always take it off. There's no hydration port. Any of these bags where they put this top stash pocket in there, there's no way physically really to route a hydration bladder, so that's not possible. It's all sewn shut, no way to put a hydration bladder, and there's really no way to attach it on the straps anyway, unless you had it modified by Scars, which you could easily do if you send it to them. One other negative that some people have mentioned about this dyneema bag is this top rain flap. So the rain flap that covers the top zipper that goes all the way around is a thicker material, and it really doesn't provide a lot of give. Here's a pro tip, and this just happened on this bag, and I just noticed it and it was fantastic. But the very top part of my bag, the very top part is actually folded in. It's kind of hard to see, but it's folded over and in on the inside, and so it kind of is in a happy medium where I've got no problem accessing the bag. And of course the zippers are about 2 weeks in, so they're a little bit more worn in, but I have no problem accessing the top pocket, mostly because it's folded over the top. I can unfold it so it's at its full length, and it's still pretty good. Actually, it's automatically folding over because it's so worn in now. But so really, I would offer that if you just got this new bag to you and you're kind of unhappy with the way the zippers are working, that stick with it. You're going to be very happy with it in a couple of days, if not a week, of just day-to-day use, and it's going to be fine. Other people would offer that you could, and you can, fold this over onto the outside, and then you can access the zipper with no problem, with no impedance from this flap. But for me, the fold over method is what works for me, and so I would say that's probably the #1 way to operate that zipper. The rest of the GORUCK GR1 features are all in there too, including the back bomb-proof pocket, and it is orange. Frame sheet, like the rest of the GORUCK series of bags, and the inside pocket layout is just the same. Let's take a look. So this is the GR1. I've got an everyday carry mode. And so, how do I carry this bag in everyday carry mode? I also have a couple of extra items in here, a couple of packing cubes. Actually, these are the shadow pockets by GORUCK, just to give it a little more rigidity and for it to stand up. Got some loose items in here, cash. And then really, one of my big favorites of carrying the GR1 series of bags is to carry a field pocket on the inside, on the top, because that just carries bigger items, maybe a camera, maybe an aviation headset, you name it. And then there's still room, even with the field pocket lashed in there, in the PALS webbing, the MOLLE on the inside, there's still room for this pocket, you can see, to be sewn in there and not really be in the way of this pocket. Yeah, it does make it a little tighter in there, but it's not impossible to manipulate. Other pockets, you can see this mesh pocket's got orange and snacks in my configuration. And then this top pocket as well has loose items and also orange. So really the orange accents make this an awesome looking bag, and really it prevents you from losing items that are in the inside because it provides that contrast, the black cable, whatever it is that you put in there. You can see made in the USA, GR1XC1 there right on the label, orange pulls in most of the areas, one on the top inside, black pull on the lower one, and then on the outside stash pocket Nice little accent orange, so you can see that zipper. The rest of it is just the same compared to the rest of the GR1 series of bags, and I'm a big fan. So the 26 liter, no different, same material, everything else. This one's a little less worn in because the only time I've used this bag was to go on a several day weekend trip. It's held up great. And again, I just like the smoothness of it. It does provide a little bit different user experience if you're used to putting your bag on the back seat of your car and drive around and not ever have it fall off because of a 1000D friction point, not in that bag, but in one of these bags. They would just stay wherever you put them. But this bag will occasionally slide forward off the seat, launch itself into the seat, but only if I brake hard. In weekender mode, or it was, some of my leftover items from my trip. And one thing I wanted to show you here is on the inside webbing, or the PALS webbing. Here you'll see that there is that orange accent on the stitching, so that's pretty cool. I did see an example of one of these bags sent to Scars, and they had the webbing sewn in and they used the orange. So that was pretty cool. But for me, I don't like a lot of orange on the outside. I really just want it mostly all black. But I did want to show you the inside of the dyneema bag. And it's a little more glossy on the inside, but it really shows how strong this material is. What is dyneema? I haven't even mentioned that, but it is ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. Ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. 15 times stronger than steel, according to some websites that I found. And really, it is very durable. I haven't had any problems with it. It's lighter weight than some of my other GORUCK bags for sure, based off of the material. So I like the weight, I like the stiffness, I like the slickness of this bag. I really like the looks of it. The most difficult thing about this bag is getting a good camera angle. It just is almost stealthy in that it's really hard to show you on camera, either in a photo or this video, of what this material really looks like. I didn't know how it would look. I didn't know what to expect when I got it, but I'm definitely a fan now that I've seen this in person and handled this bag for a couple days. In weekender mode, again, the 26 liter is really kind of my go-to on a weekend, just because you never have a problem with space. Definitely a big fan of the GRXC1 dyneema made bag by GORUCK and Carryology. So there it is. That's the GRXC1 collaboration between GORUCK and Carryology. All of the awesomeness that a GR1 was, little orange accents, that's a signature Carryology touch, and a brand new space age fabric that really is awesome. I really wasn't sure what to think of it, but I'm a big fan now after carrying it for a couple weeks in both everyday carry mode, and I carried this a couple times on a weekend. Just love it. Yeah, you might not like the fact that there's not MOLLE in places, but I guarantee you that the material, finish and fit, and the fact that the way it looks on your back and the way it handles long term is probably going to be awesome. I'm probably going to have these bags for years with zero sign of wear based off the material. So that's it. That's the GORUCK and Carryology collaboration #1. Looking forward to see what they come up with next. So that was my quick look at this GRXC1, the Gorilla X from Carryology and GORUCK, their collaboration. What a fantastic bag. Again, everyday carry mode and travel size. I've traveled with both and done everyday carry. So it's a great bag. I'm a big fan, and it's quickly climbed into my top 3 all-time GORUCK bags, along with some others that I'll talk about later. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, see what's happening next. Got a lot of stuff coming up, especially for the holidays. Take care, let's get outside, enjoy the weather when you can. Peace.